Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chat with the Chief. As always, I'm your Chief, Jared Mills, and today I'm here with Resource Officer Brad Chase.
Hi.
Now, when I say resource, exactly tell us what your position is within the police department. What do you do for us?
Well, I interface with the community, and I get to hang out with a lot of the community members and the businesses and the schools, and yeah.
Awesome. So you're actually our community officer.
Yes.
We have school resource officers, and you're the guy that goes out and interfaces with the community. Great to have you here today, Brad, as always. We're going to talk today about bicycle safety. We've had several questions come in at the beginning, spring and summer, about bicycle safety. That's usually the case. And Brad, being our community guy, definitely has the answers to this. So I'm going to kind of quiz him as we go along here. We'll see how he does with these test questions I have for him. So some of the questions I've had, Brad, is what are the rules of a bicycle? Generally speaking, when a bicycle is operating on a roadway, what are the general rules that they have to follow?
They have to follow the rules of the road, just like the vehicles.
So they're similar to a vehicle.
Yeah, if you come across a stop sign, yield sign, stoplight, you have to abide by those rules just like you would if you're in a car.
Excellent. Great information, because not everybody knows that, and I've been asked that. So let's get into the weeds of it. I'm going to throw this at you. How about a rotary? We have two roundabouts in the city of Augusta, a rotary and a roundabout. We have some out near the interstate, but we won't talk about those. They're off the beaten path. But let's talk about in town, Memorial Bridge. If I'm on a bicycle and I'm operating into the rotary, what's the rule?
Hey, you still on a bicycle, you still operate as far to the right as safely possible. And you have the same rights as every other vehicle trying to get through the rotary, and you have the duty to yield when you have to and go when you can. And it might be safer to maybe dismount your bicycle and walk through the crosswalks, because then the vehicles have to yield to you in the crosswalk. So
that makes a lot of sense, but it's a good point. It's similar to a vehicle, so you can drive the bicycle as far right. So not in the left lane. The roundabouts have two lanes.
Yes.
We're not in the left. We're staying still to the right and exiting and entering properly.
Yep.
Great stuff. When you're on a bicycle, what direction with traffic do you have to ride?
You're flowing with traffic, just like again, like when you're in a car.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so how come I see pedestrians sometimes walking against traffic? What's the rule? Is there a difference? Are they the same?
Well, for pedestrians, if there's a sidewalk provided, a pedestrian must use the sidewalk. If not, then you have to walk facing traffic, like towards traffic.
Okay. So
against the flow, I guess.
Right, so pedestrians against traffic so they can see things coming.
Yep.
Bicycles with traffic because they're treated just like a motor vehicle.
Correct.
Excellent stuff. We've already talked about another question here. We've already talked about staying as far right as possible within a lane.
Yep.
With a bicycle. Are there any exceptions to that?
There is, and if there's some kind of obstruction, or it is main, so maybe the road is just not there. The shoulder's destroyed. You can go further into the travel lane to avoid any obstruction or anything that's dangerous. So.
And making any turn, left-hand
turn?
Yeah,
if you're taking a left-hand turn at an intersection, then you can operate from the close to the center line. So.
Excellent. So I'm going to take this next question. I'm going to quiz myself here, because I would think most people would think this. Okay, but I'll be the one doing the answer on this, because I'm not sure if you know. If there's a bike lane.
Mm-hmm.
Does the bicycle have to actually travel in that bike lane? Don't answer. All right, but think about that, right? Mm-hmm. There's a bike lane. We see those, not many in the state of Maine, but they're becoming more and more prevalent. Does a bicycle have to travel in that lane? The answer is no. They don't have to, and I had to research that one. They can use the bicycle lane, but they still, again, are treated like following the rules of a motor vehicle, so they don't have to use that bicycle lane in the state of Maine. So when an operator sees that and they go, hey, why isn't that bicycle in the bicycle lane? They technically don't have to do that. So that's something very, very important too. Let's talk about illumination at dusk and at night. Mm-hmm. Do bicycles have to be illuminated in any way?
Yes. If you're driving a bicycle on a public way at night, you have to have a white emitting light in the front of your bicycle and a rear emitting one, a rear red emitting light on the rear of your bicycle.
Interesting. How about pedals? Do they any reflectors require? Or is that good to have?
Reflectors are definitely good to have on, especially on your pedals or on the bike frame itself.
So probably even wearing the proper clothing would help
Yep.
too. But legally, with the bicycle, you should have that stuff. Excellent stuff. A plethora of information so far. Do you have time for a few more questions? Because I've had a ton, and I want to make sure we're all cleared up with this.
Yes, I do.
All right. Helmet law. State of Maine. Do bicycles have a helmet law?
So you are required to wear a helmet if you're under 16.
Under 16. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if
It's
I'm
recommended if you're over 16, but it's not the law.
so somebody like me who's a little bit over 16, I don't have to wear a bicycle helmet.
Not if you don't feel like it.
Probably still a good
It's a good idea.
idea to do it, but not legally don't have to. Excellent. Big one. Sidewalks. We see bicycles at times riding on sidewalks. Is there a law that prohibits bicycles from riding on a sidewalk?
There is no state law prohibiting a bicycle riding on a sidewalk. But however, in the city of Augusta, we have a city ordinance that prohibits riding a bicycle on a sidewalk if it interferes with pedestrian traffic.
Okay.
So if you're on the sidewalk and there's no one around, no problem. But if you're riding down the sidewalk in Water Street and people are trying to walk and they're avoiding you, or you got to duck in and out between them, then that can be a problem. Yes.
That kind of reminds me of crosswalks. Is that kind of the same idea? A bicycle can use a crosswalk, but they can't interfere with the pedestrian traffic.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Excellent stuff. That one, I bet a lot of people didn't know, because you see bicycles on the sidewalk a lot of times in violation, almost hitting pedestrians, and you think that should be prohibited, but technically it's not. They just can't interfere with the pedestrian traffic. The pedestrians have the right of way.
Right.
Excellent. How far does a vehicle have to be from a bicycle?
When overtaking a bicycle, 3 feet. If 3 feet is not practical, then you got to slow down and safely maneuver around the vehicle. But 3 feet is the minimum. Also, if you're parked and you open your car door and it's opening into the roadway, and the responsibility is on you to not hit anybody that's opening the car door, not on the bicyclist. So that's something that you want to keep in mind, because that does happen.
So that's a violation. So it's a violation of the person opening the door. They
Correct.
have to watch for
Right.
vehicles and bicycles. I gotcha. Yeah, because we see that those close calls happen at times, and people often wonder, well, is that the vehicle's job to avoid the door? But you actually have to look both ways. Excellent. I've got one final question for you. You're 100% so far. Let's see if you could pass the test. When a motorist is coming up to an intersection or just traveling on the roadway, and the bicycle, they can't get around the bicycle safely in that lane.
Yep.
Can they cross the center line safely when it is actually prohibited to do so?
Oh, so like if a vehicle is there's double yellow line, and a vehicle can cross the double yellow line to get around a bicycle as long as it's safe to do so. So that's allowed. Yep.
Excellent. So a lot of safety stuff here. So we've given you a lot of information, folks, in a short period of time, but it's very, very important that we get this out. I thank you for watching today, and tune in next time.